DJ. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the first day of my next chapter. It's Monday morning. It's super foggy, about 73 degrees, end of August. And on Saturday, I was an emergency room nurse in an inner city ER in New Jersey. And today, I am waiting in my vehicular device for my first Instacart order to pop up that can possibly earn me some money. So, little backstory. I've been a nurse for 3 years at this emergency room. Total nursing career of 12 years. Lots of different things in that time. But the ER was my calling and my home and my passion. That job meant everything to me. Did some really good things there and had some really hard, sad times there and made some great friends there. And then in July, they told me that if I didn't get the COVID vaccine, that I would be fired. No option to just get tested, like the mandate is in New Jersey. If you don't get the vaccine, you can agree to just be tested on a weekly basis. That was not an option at my facility. It was either vax or get the fuck out. And I don't want the vaccine. I had coronavirus in January, end of December into January, very bad. I was very sick for more than 10 days. It took me 3 weeks really to get back on my feet. I was very ill. I never went to the hospital because I had seen what happened to people that went to the hospital, and it didn't ever end well. Usually, I can't say ever, but it usually didn't end well. So I was very scared to go to the hospital, even my own hospital. So I stayed home, I toughed it out, I hydrated, I rested. My wife is a nurse and she took very good care of me, and I recovered. In the early summer, I had a situation in the emergency room where I watched a person around my age who had gotten the second Moderna vaccine, I believe it was Moderna, die right in front of me in a very terrible way. From the vaccine. There's no other explanation. And I'm not going to go into details or give any other details actually, but trust me, just trust me, that it was from the vaccine. And that person's death has haunted me and will always haunt me. And so I decided that day that I was not getting the vaccine. And then I was told that I had to lose my job. So it was explained to me that I could apply for an exemption, religious or medical. I'm not a religious person. I don't believe in religion, organized religion at all. That's my past life, and I'm not that person anymore. So I am not religious. I did not have a religious reason not to get the shot. I don't have a medical reason not to get it. You know, I have nothing that would contraindicate getting the vaccine. I just am afraid of it, and I don't want it. So that's what I wrote in my exemption request. Pretty much exactly those words. I'm afraid, I'm not getting it, and please reconsider terminating me for exercising autonomy over my body. It was my exact ending. Weeks go by, and I don't hear anything from the committee who is deciding my future. Then I get a call on my day off to ask me if I would elaborate that the committee would like me to elaborate. And I declined to do that. I told the person that called me that I was not going to elaborate, that I wasn't going to embellish my story, I was not going to make some shit up, I was not going to pretend to be religious or anything. I just was standing on my ground. I'm not getting it. I want autonomy over my body. This person said, okay, I'll tell the committee. And I got off the phone crying, which had been what I had been doing every day, on and off through every day for weeks at this time, since really I had found out that that the mandate was being put in effect in my facility. Crying, sobbing, terrified of what I would do if I couldn't be a nurse, how I would pay the bills, how I would support my portion of the life here that we live, take care of my kid, my grandbaby, just how I would make it. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. It was traumatic, really traumatizing, and abusive, really, that my facility was prolonging my answer, yes or no. Just tell me, yes or no. So that happened on a Thursday. I hung up the phone sobbing and on the verge of a fucking breakdown. And I looked at my wife and I said, that really triggered me. I'm not sure why. Got to get to the bottom of that, of why explaining myself and proving my worthiness of my exemption to someone was such a trigger for me, which I did get to the bottom of, and we'll talk about that probably in another video. But I sat down at the table, I looked at my wife, I said, I'm withdrawing my request and I'm quitting because I can't do this anymore. And my mental health was more important to me than my job. And so that's what I did. I withdrew my request online. I took the weekend to really consider whether this is what I wanted to do, was resign. I wrote a very long resignation letter that called out the committee for the fucking fucks that they are. And Monday morning I went into work. My boss was not there, so I handed my resignation to my assistant manager, and I cried. It was in a puddle on the fucking floor about it. I walked to HR and I handed them a copy of my letter, and I said, please have your exemption request committee read this, because you all need to know what you've done to me. And then, hi baby, my wife is coming. And then I brought a copy to the CEO of the hospital and told him that he needed to know what his part was as well. Hi. Please hold.